Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to leave a comment under the video and share it to all your friends as well. Let's just get started. Plymouth stun Liverpool and knock the Premier League leaders out of the FA Cup. The team bottom of the Championship knock the team who are top of every single league out of the FA Cup. One of the biggest upsets you're ever likely to see in terms of stature of two clubs and the position of the league. Liverpool were bad. Liverpool were awful. Liverpool were quite embarrassing, if I'm being frankly honest with you. And Plymouth showcased that they wanted it more and got the deserved victory. What more can you say? It's one of those games. Let's get into it. It's one of those games where it's a tie that you want. Everything is pointing towards a Liverpool victory, the league position of Plymouth, the position of Liverpool, how effective they've been in terms of their league season and their domestic season as well. Liverpool in the European campaign as well. They've been really, really good. I think they've lost to Forest, Tottenham, PSV Eindhoven, second team, basically similar to what was put out today. And Plymouth, 4 games Arne Slot has lost, and 2 of those have come in games where he's rotated his 11 heavily. And I'm not making any excuses because the 11 that Liverpool put out today was good enough to beat Plymouth Argyle. The likes of Chiesa was playing, Diaz, Elliott, Jota. That alone is good enough to beat Plymouth Argyle. I'm not disrespecting Plymouth Argyle in terms of them as a club or anything like that, because I think what they showcased today is that if you want it more than someone, you will be able to win the game, and that's what they proved today. It doesn't matter about the stature of players or how poor you are in form or where you are in the league, etc. If you want it more than somebody else, you're gonna win. If you win your duels, your individual battles, which Plymouth were doing all across the pitch, and create chances in front of your home supporters when they're behind you like this in a big game for them, seeing a Premier League side come to their ground, not only a Premier League side, the best team in Europe this season, they're obviously going to be up for it, and they were. And you felt that from the first minute, and they were far better in the first half. Liverpool didn't really have any clear-cut chances until late on in the second half, and that tells you enough. That centre-back they have, Katic, I think his name is, wowzers. What a performance from him. Colossal. Bosnian centre-half. I think he was signed in January by a manager that's come in January as well. Unbelievable. Previously coached by Wayne Rooney, but this manager seems to have given them some sort of belief, installed that resilience and determination that they can actually grind out results when they really need one. And today was no different in an FA Cup tie, which looked very favourable for Liverpool, I must say again, and wasn't to be. And that just shows you if a team wants it more than you, like I said before, if a team showcases their constant determination to get a goal, they're going to get it, and they got it for a penalty that was very much a penalty. Harvey Elliott's hand shouldn't be up there, and it is a penalty. He tucks it away, sends Keller the wrong way, Hardy, and he's behind me there. The two kind of players that changed the face of the game. Elliott giving away the penalty and Hardy scoring the penalty. And Liverpool out. It's very, very simple. All this quadruple talk, all this talk about Liverpool winning 4 trophies, sweeping it up, I think he gets thrown around too much. And I don't think people have learned from the 21-22 season where Liverpool didn't win the quadruple. They won 2 trophies, the FA Cup and the League Cup, and they lost the title to City and the Champions League to Real Madrid. Last season as well, everyone was talking about quadruple. Liverpool on for a quad in March, top of the league, still in the FA Cup, won the League Cup, obviously beaten by United, then beaten by Atalanta. Things can change very, very quickly in football. Now, something that looked historical for Liverpool has changed within one day, and that's how quick the game can flow. And this is why you shouldn't put expectations on teams to do the impossible, which is good. You should dream big, you should, but there's also a sense of you have to be grounded and use your brain cells a bit. I'm not saying anyone that believes Liverpool are going to win the quad is stupid, but it is kind of talk that is kind of very, very much it's very immature talk in terms of it hasn't got any legs to it, and no team's ever done it, and there's a good reason for it. It's quite impossible to do, and for a manager like Arne Slot to come in his first season in English football and to do that would have been ridiculous, but it's very unrealistic. But forget the quad talk. That's not why we're here. We have to talk about this performance in general and this result for Liverpool. If I'm being frankly honest with you, it is very, very disappointing because this was a real opportunity to win a trophy for Arne Slot. It's United are United obviously still in the cup. Chelsea are out, knocked out by Brighton. Arsenal are out. You only really got Man City that are, real competitors in terms of know how to win this competition. Arsenal are out. United are obviously the holders, but they're not as strong, I'd say, as a Newcastle or Liverpool or a Manchester City. So it was a very winnable competition. And it's a competition Liverpool are not going to win. And that's just the reality of the situation. And I don't think it will matter too much in terms of the season. I think Liverpool have still enough to play for. They still have a Carabao Cup final coming up against Newcastle. They're still quite comfortable in the Premier League. They still obviously got the Champions League as well. So I think Arne Slot won't be too critical of this performance. I think he will obviously have a go at the players, because I don't think the performance was particularly good, especially from a lot of the first teamers that want to kind of knock on the door. The likes of Nunez, I think Darwin gets unfair credit, even though he missed the chance at the end. I think he did what he could, but again, the big moments. Luis Diaz, I thought was really, really poor today. Federico Chiesa, it's making more sense why maybe Arne Slot is not including him in 11s, because he was very, very poor today. Harvey Elliott was quite poor today. Jarrell Kwanzaa, where do I start with him? He was quite abysmal. And the only player, and again, because we're on the defense, the only kind of thing I'd say is that Joe Gomez obviously went off injured. So obviously didn't look good. I could see the discomfort that he had, when he got the ball and he just was making a few faces and stuff like that, and he looked like he was in a bit of trouble and a bit of bother. But Wataru Endo obviously stepped into the centre-back role and he was immaculate. He's the one player from tonight that can hold his head up high. And every time this guy has played this season, out of position, in midfield, at right back, wherever he plays, centre-back, he drops performances 7 out of 10 minimum. And that just shows the versatility, the quality, the experience that Wataru Endo has. And a lot of people have discredited him, saying he's a purple patch player. I think he's proven it now over the last year that he's not a purple patch player. That he steps in when you need him. He plays well when you need him, and he can lead a team. Because without Wataru Endo in that back line, that could have been 3-0 to Plymouth Argyle, 2-3-0, easily. And he won his duels in the air. He was winning his aerial duels as well. He was winning the second balls. He was tackling. He was tenacious. He was making passes forward, clearances, his positioning, knowing where to be against the likes of Hardy, Michael Obafemi. He needed to, use his experience there, and he did very, very well in the game. I must say, Wataru Endo, but unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be for Liverpool, and they're obviously not in the FA Cup anymore. That's the reality of it. But I think there's still enough to play for in the season for Liverpool to not really be concerned about this game too much. I think Arne Slot will kind of be looking for positives of this game, thinking as in like, we don't have to play any more matches. It's not going to be too distressful on the calendar. Liverpool now have to worry about 3-4 less games now, being out of the FA Cup if they got that far. But I'm just saying it's less games now to play in the season, which is always beneficial to a team that's challenging on all fronts. Still the final, like I said, the League Cup. But the annoyance with me, especially as a Liverpool supporter, would be that this was a very, very winnable competition. And if Manchester United are able to win this competition last season and they finished 8th in the league, it further signifies, and I thought the bigger teams last season were a lot stronger. It further signifies that this season it was very winnable for Liverpool. But again, it wasn't meant to be. Not going to be too critical. We all know the performance was bad, and Plymouth Argyle just were brilliant. That's all I can say. I give credit to the manager. He's come in, and he's done the job that he's been asked to do. And maybe they may get relegated this season to League One, but if they play like that every single week, it is promising. It is promising, and you can't caveat it more. You can't deny it. But look, Liverpool out of the FA Cup. I give teams credit when credit's due. They were better than us simply, and that's why they won. And that's why there's no divine right in football that just because you have better players, you're going to win the game. If a team wants it more, if a team showcases they want to win it more, they will win. They work harder for each other, and that's what Plymouth did today, and that's why they were able to beat Liverpool. Arne Slot got it wrong. He hasn't got much wrong this season, but there's still a lot to play for. Let's hope Liverpool can end the season on a high. The Premier League, the League Cup, the Champions League is still in sight. The FA Cup is gone, but there's still a lot more to come. See you in the next one, guys. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And Liverpool lost. If you like seeing me sad, I think I deserve a little like. Take care.